While we pray that the items presented in this show are never needed, let's be prepared should an emergency arise. Doing so can be life-saving.
Be self-sufficient in case of emergency, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
In 2022, along with exceedingly hot temperatures and record low temperatures, severe winter storms are being reported across the globe. In Texas, USA, from February 10th to 20th, 2021, 3 severe winter storms hit parts of the state and left more than 4.5 million homes and businesses without power. Record low temperatures led to many difficulties with the power grid and created food, water, and heat shortages. Some citizens were left without power for 17 days during temperatures that dropped as low as -15 degrees Celsius. This unfortunate circumstance led to the deaths of between 246 and 702 citizens. In recent years, many other extreme winter weather events have been reported around the world. In Part 2 of our series, we'll discuss how to keep yourself warm during a winter power outage and different ways to power home essentials without electricity, as well as other helpful tips to use in an emergency. Protecting yourself and your loved ones against hypothermia during a winter power outage is essential. Hypothermia is a medical emergency in which your body loses heat faster than it can produce. Hypothermia begins when your temperature drops from the normal body temperature of 37 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius or lower. As this happens, your heart, brain, internal organs, and nervous system start to lose functioning. Heart rate slows down and confusion can occur. At temperatures of -45 degrees Celsius, hypothermia can set in within 5 minutes, and at -18 degrees Celsius, about 30 to 60 minutes. This coldness includes wind chill as well. To protect yourself from frigid temperatures, layer your clothing to best retain your internal temperature. Your first layer, such as long underwear or long johns, should fit snugly and stay close to your body. In this way, it will provide warmth and absorb any sweat on your skin. Next, add 1 or 2 pairs of sweatpants and long-sleeve shirts. These should also fit snugly to your base layer to form the insulation you need to retain body heat. For the outer layer, something thick like a fleece jacket or coat will give you the best chance of keeping your body temperature at an optimal level. Cover your feet with warm socks and slippers, your hands with gloves, and your head with a hat and face covering. Additional layers can be worn here as well. Hand warmers are also an excellent addition for both your hands and feet. Remember, if you're too warm, it's always easier to take layers off than to add them once you're cold. To keep your living area as warm as possible, have all family members stay together in a small room and share blankets to use body heat as a warming source. To retain heat in the room, roll up towels, place them under the door, and seal off windows if possible. You can even pitch a tent in the middle of the room to create a cozier space for everyone to bundle together. There are many cost-effective strategies to ensure you have heat and light during a winter power outage. One solution is to place one or more candles in vegetable shortening. This technique can light up a room and create a heat source for many days. Our most compassionate Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, recently shared this tip in one of her conferences with Supreme Master TV team members.
They sell somewhere like vegetable oil, but thickened vegetable oil. They call it all vegetable oil. I forgot the name behind that. It means fat anyway. But there's a name they use. I think they sell it in some supermarket, like a big chunk in a big can, tin can, or jar, a big one. You buy that, and then you buy a thin candle, a normal candle, thin and long, and stick that, immerse it in the middle of that can. Or you can make it smaller into smaller jars and then put the small candle in. You put the candle in the middle of this can of thickened vegetable oil, then it will burn just like a candle, but it becomes a big candle. And this one, if you buy a big one like 6 pounds or 3 pounds, then it will burn for 30 days plus or 70 days plus for 8 hours every day.
Wow.
And in an emergency, it's very good. And you sit together in a small room, very small. The smaller the better. Then it will be warm in case of emergency when you don't have any means to warm yourself in winter.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
YouTube is airing good and useful things for people.
Yes, true.
Candles in vegetable shortening can also be paired with other items to provide an indoor heating source. Place a flooring tile or small slab of concrete on a few pieces of styrofoam. Layer bricks in a rotating square shape for the first 2 layers, then 3 bricks on the 3rd layer, leaving a gap on the end. Then cover the structure with 2 bricks on top, creating a brick oven. Place 4 to 6 Crisco candles in the center of the oven. The candles will warm the bricks, providing a safe open flame warming structure. With an open flame, make sure the room is ventilated to provide fresh air and have water at hand in case of fire. Another option is to place Crisco candles directly in upside-down terracotta pots with heating ducts attached. As a safety precaution, keep the heating device on ceramic mats or something similar. We'll now share some methods to cook your food in case of a power outage. One short-term solution is a camping stove. These single-burner stoves, powered by small cans of propane or butane, will provide you with a cooking flame for a short time. Each can will last from 75 minutes to 3 hours of cooking time, so it is best to have a few extra cans on hand if you're without power for more than 1 to 2 days. If using heaters, stoves, or other items that use propane or butane, please make sure to have a functional carbon monoxide detector in your home. Another option is to create a homemade rocket stove. A rocket stove can be made from a few tin cans and will burn sticks and leaves to heat the food instead of fuel, making it a longer-lasting option if these items are readily available. Many online tutorials are available on creating this type of homemade cooking stove. A solar power generator is a resource that will allow you to power small appliances during a power outage, such as electric burners, lamps, heaters, and more. Solar power generators use solar panels instead of gasoline to charge a battery within the unit, giving you a free energy source in a power outage. Many options are readily available, offering multiple power outlets to connect essential items. Some can even be plugged into a car battery if weather conditions make recharging difficult. These devices require greater investment, but could be life-saving in the event of a long-term power outage. We'll now share some essentials to keep in your emergency safety kit. Imagine that you can't use technology for some of the basic things you take for granted, like using your mobile phone maps, which give you addresses and directions to where you need to go. If your phone becomes damaged or there is no internet access, none of this information will be available. Thus, it's crucial to write down significant phone numbers and addresses for family members and emergency services. Have a notepad in your safety kit with all this critical information and a map that gives you directions to landmarks while offline. Include a basic first aid kit with various size bandages, wrappings, gauze pads, antiseptic, and other essential items in case wound care is needed. If you're prescribed daily medication, always have a 7-day supply on hand. For additional light sources, keep enough matches, lighters, candles, and multiple flashlights that require the same type of batteries, as well as extra batteries. Headlamps are also a great addition, providing a hands-free light source while working. To stay connected to the outside world, have an emergency radio on hand, preferably crank-operated, which is both battery and manually powered. If showering is not possible, wet wipes will keep your hands clean and can be used for hygienic purposes. Keep a small supply of cash at home at all times. If the power goes down, debit and credit cards will be unusable, and hence buying items will likely be cash only. Other essentials include a cell phone charger, a multi-use tool, and a basic can opener. Pack all these items together in a container and store in a location that will be easy to access in an emergency. If you live in an area prone to flooding, store the container up high, such as the top of a closet or even on the second story. It's possible in an emergency that you will need to access this kit quickly should you need to flee your home. We all hope these items are never needed, but if an emergency arises, being prepared could be life-saving.
Vegan, 'cause we are simply human.
May our sincere prayers and joint efforts help to transform our planet into a loving and safe home for all.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/show.